Leaders of Tomorrow, the only show right now on Indian television where you, the MSME entrepreneur, get center stage to voice your opinions and thoughts. This is EDN's special daily initiative to give MSMEs and entrepreneurs the opportunity to be front and center in every industry and area that matters to you. Today on the Crux, my colleague Sana Zabeen spoke with Deepak Mittal, the MD of the Sonalika Group. Take a look.
Mr. Mittal, welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow. And my first question to you is, you market your products, across the globe. But from what I understand, you manufacture only in India. So will this change going forward?
Yes, as we are now getting volumes outside India. So now we have already started the process to set up the assembly plants in the different continents. Like in Europe, in Italy, we are going to have an assembly plant. In Oceania, we are going to have an assembly plant in China.
Okay.
So in Africa, we already have a plant in Algeria. So yes, we are going to put up those plants, but the basic manufacturing of the components will continue here.
Okay.
So the components will be sent to those countries and will be assembled as a tractor in those countries.
Okay. So why did you take that step?
Actually, as the volumes are increasing, first thing is that it helps us to bring down the logistic cost. The second thing is that it gives the confidence to the people that it is made in Europe and made in that specific area, local area. And the other thing is that the products are, the customized according to the local requirements. So if something is only required for Europe, so it is, the better to make it here, make it there. Yeah.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mittal, how are companies like yours who manufacture in India are able to export, across the globe?
It was much easier to export to Asia, to Africa, especially to the backward countries of, the developing countries, the least developing countries. But it was very difficult to export to the developed countries. I mean to say like UK, France, Germany. And I myself was there in the market to do that about 5 years back. So I talked to the people in these countries and I was surprised to know that nobody, most of the people have not traveled to India. And they have a picture about India, that 25-year back picture of India. So, which they have seen in the documentaries.
Okay. So,
and they were thinking that India doesn't have any industry, infrastructure and, the same India. So, the first of all, we invited them to visit India and we, tried our best and ultimately they came here and we showed them the India as a country. So they were very pleasantly surprised to see the country, that it has such a good manufacturing base, such a, the developed country now. Because unfortunately in Europe, there is no company which is selling the Indian products as, the finished products and engineering products, which, that goes to the ultimate customer.
yes.
We have a big markets in Europe, but that is on the back end.
Right.
So the ultimate brand or the customer is somebody different. So we are just working as a low cost base in India.
Okay, sir.
So in our case, it is the ultimate product which is made in India and going straight to the customer. Then we showed them our plant, our capabilities. And fortunately, our plant is, their first remarks were, it is as per the European companies. We have all the technical facilities and the technical know-how and the everything, which any European company has. It was their statement. So that helped us in a big way. And we have never positioned our product as a cheap product coming from India. It is positioned as a, the good quality product equivalent to all the multinationals.
All right.
But very cost efficient, durable.
All right. So moving on, Mr. Mittal, how do you suggest companies in auto and auto manufacturing to handle the fluctuations of raw materials and raw materials costs?
I think the best way to do that is to work on the cost reduction every year. There is no other way. You will have to be innovative that how to cut down the cost. If you can bring down the cost by 3 to 5% every year, you can take care of the raw material increase. And the way to cut down the cost in our industry is by the design and the innovations, because you cannot compromise on the quality. So we have done many cost reduction exercises, projects in our tractor, where we have reduced the cost and we have increased the quality value of the tractor at the same time. So we bring down the cost every year by the cost reduction methods, and we improve the quality also. So that is the only way to meet this challenge of increasing raw material cost.
All right. So what would be your advice on handling fluctuations in demand from the global market and insulating against macroeconomic changes like the Brexit, for example?
So I agree with you. This is the biggest challenge. So the answer to this is to not to focus or to have the maximum share of your business from one country.
Yes, sir.
You must have a bigger base, and you should spread to more markets. Normally what happens that most of the business have the one single market from where their 50% or the 70% business is coming. And something happens in that market and you are affected. But if you have a good spread of many countries or many markets,
Okay.
and even if one market is affected by something, the political reasons or financial reasons, so but the percentage is not high. So it is only some percentage which you can recover from the other markets. Like if we talk about our company, so about the international business. So we were having the one single market where the market share was of our business was 70%. So if there is any problem in that market, we were down like anything.
Okay.
So then we decided to handle that. So now the same market is having a share of 10 to 15%. 85% is coming from the other markets. And earlier we were having only 5 major markets outside the country. Now we have 60 markets outside the country to face that challenge. So, but there are some sudden political changes sometimes.
My next question is about that only. So, how will GST impact your business? And I'm aware of the fact that you said that the tax should be at 14% and not 28%. So, how do you suggest, companies manage this tax?
Yeah, first thing is it will not have a major impact or any impact on the outside country sales.
Right.
So, but in India it's a big thing now going on. And being a...
But since you have your access to different global markets, so it will not affect you that much.
Not, but for the Indian marketing it is affecting in a big way. And we are going through the transition period in India, and it is more difficult. Once it is in place, so it may be smooth. So you are right, being a farmer product, it shouldn't be more than 14%. And if you compare it with other countries, it should be like that. But presently it's a big issue to handle GST. Especially the implementation part.
But sir, how will it impact the buyer, and will it increase prices?
Presently it is not increasing the prices, but is going to impact because the inventory cost is going high. You are going to pay the taxes on the stocks, whereas earlier it was when you were selling it to the farmer. So the investment of this dealer is going high.
Okay. So, Mr. Mittal, how do auto manufacturers insulate themselves from the arising demands, which are based on the monsoon?
Yeah, again, the best way out is to have a market outside the country. First thing is to have market throughout the country, because sometimes the monsoon is good in the north and bad in the south. But if you are present in north and south, both the markets, so one market will do better.
Okay.
So the first thing is in the country itself, you try to be present everywhere and try to have the equal market, your share. The other thing is one must have the outside country business, export. So if you look at the global companies or the foreign companies, so sometimes they have 10% business from their country and 90% from the outside country. But typically for a traditional Indian company, it is hardly 5% exports and 95% Indian market. So the time has come for the Indian companies to have a goal of having minimum 50% of revenues from outside country. So that if sometime you don't have a good monsoon, you still have the market outside country. Like in our case, we were having about 10% revenues. Now we have about 33% revenues from outside country.
Time for a break. On the other side, we'll continue talking about the automobile industry. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight on the Crux, we're bringing a conversation with the Sonalika group.
So, Mr. Mittal, how are companies like yours who manufacture in India are able to, weave in or tie in with the government's Make in India plan?
It's a very good initiative, but I strongly feel that Indian products has a very good potential. We are having a very good technical know-how. We are capable to manufacture good quality products at a very competitive price. So fortunately, we have many strengths with us as a country. First thing is we are very strong in English, which is a international business language now. We can communicate with any country with any good English. Then the other good thing is we have good technology. And we have a high local consumption. On base of that, we have a higher production capacities, which is bringing down the cost. Right. The other thing is we may be having the most competitive labor cost in the world now, and productivity of the labor, being the youngsters, is very good.
All right.
So I strongly feel Indian products has a very high potential. Indian companies. Only thing is they have to focus on the marketing. They shouldn't try themselves as a cheap product or low cost product. So they should also try to position their product as equivalent to the other multinationals. A good product, good quality.
So we need competition in marketing now.
Yes, I think marketing is the main thing. Marketing of the country first, that India is a good country, right country for them to deal with. And then marketing of their own company, that okay, we believe in good practices. And then finally doing those good practices. For example, the communication is the most important thing in the international business. Reply of an email, that how much time you take to reply to an email.
Right.
In India, that it is normally not that much important. You can talk on telephone, you can just reply email after a week. But they will count that how many hours you have taken to
reply on that
mail. If you are able to reply it immediately.
Yeah, the work cultures are very different in India.
So then you will have a good impression on them. So once you get their confidence and faith, then it is very easy to do business with them. The first thing is getting their confidence and faith.
Okay. So we'll move on, Mr. Mittal, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So would you look at an IPO in the future? There were reports in the past that suggested that, you know, you were considering an IPO and you were planning to give Blackstone an exit, but you reconsidered it when Yanmar's investment came in.
Yes, you are right that we were going to give an exit to the Blackstone, and one of the option was the IPO.
Okay.
But we have gone for the other option, that is going to the way that to the Yanmar and giving the Blackstone shares to the Yanmar. So Yanmar has given us technology and now they have 30% share. They are now going to sell our products through their dealer network throughout the world, even in Japan and in all the markets, Asian markets, European or American markets. So the main attraction of giving the shares to them was that first is getting the technology, the new technology. The second was using their global network to sell our products.
Okay. So,
so the IPO is now, there is no immediate plans for IPO.
All right. So, Mr. Mittal, how is the market for hiring skilled labor? Your advice for the MSME sector?
Actually, if we talk about the engineering industry, so the only the way for us is to train our own people, to take the freshers from the IITs and to take the freshers from the colleges and then to utilize our own training facilities to train them.
Right.
Because now you may not get the trained people. And if you are training them, that is your best assets which you are creating. And you are not creating it for yourself, also for the industry. So we are now training more and more people. And even if now we are starting this training in a big way, we are just giving the training certificates to the people free of cost and giving the training, so that in future whenever we need the manpower, so we can call them.
Okay. So Mr. Mittal, can you talk to us about your Hoshiarpur facility?
Yes, you know that we have set up the new plant. This is the world's largest plant, tractor plant. So every 2 minutes, as per the capacity, the new tractor will come out.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and especially this paint shop is very state of the art. It has a robotic system for the painting. So it is having all the technologies of the world, the latest technologies, and we are really proud of this. Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Mittal, can you talk to us about your plans of moving to China?
China is one of the big market of tractors in the world. So they are having a market of 400,000 tractors. And we have already sold our initial tractors. The initial feedback is very good. Now the Chinese customer has a good spending power of money. They are now shifting to the good quality products. And the initial feedback is very good. We have appointed the distributor. And now we are in the process of setting up the assembly plant.
Okay. So Mr. Mittal, one piece of advice for entrepreneurs in your industry, your business mantra with our viewers.
So my experience is that one must have a bigger goal in the mind. Even if you are working on the smaller scale, have a bigger goal. The other thing is keep changing with the time. Like your plant, your machinery, your manpower, keep improving. And you must position yourself as par with the best products, with best brands like multinational brands. And you must upgrade your everything, equipments and design according to the time and every year. So the other thing is, as I shared with you already, that you must have a market outside the country, so that you are safe. So, and it will help you to improve your quality. And other thing is, spend good money on your people, have good people with you. Especially in the small scale sector, sometimes we don't think of keeping higher paid professionals. We believe in doing everything ourselves. But if you invest good money on the people and pay them good salaries, have good people with you, so that it is paid in the form of the business.
All right.
And have a bigger picture always. Today you may be on the smaller scale, but you should have the picture of going to the bigger players in the industry wherever you are.
All right. So, Mr. Mittal, is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I think one of the most important turning point in our business is that initially we put up a plant, and at that time we were not having the sufficient resources in terms of the money. So then we believe in not taking the debt from the bank. We are a debt-free company. So we put up a small plant and with the low technology. But as soon as we went into the market and we had some volumes and some money, so we scrapped whole of the tractor plant and we put up the new plant. Whereas the life of that plant was still, it could have been there for another 25 years.
Okay.
So, but we upgraded to the next technology, which was at that time. And then second time also we did the same thing.
Okay.
We had a very good plant running very smoothly, no problem in production quality, and that could have been there another 30 years. But we scrapped whole of the plant, paint shop, assembly shop, manufacturing, everything, and sold it in the scrap. And then we again put up the new plant. So when the French people, who were our first joint venture company, the Renault, they came into 2000.
Okay.
So then it paid us. So that is that. But when these Europeans came to our plant, as I shared my story with you
Earlier,
that we invited those Europeans to visit us. When they visited our plant, their first statement was, "It is at par with the European companies."
wow.
We don't find anything missing if we compare with a Japanese company or a European
company.
And that was the turning point for our business.
That wraps up this episode of The Crux tonight on the Sonalika Group. If you feel you have anything that you want to tell us, do remember you can write in at leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com. You can use the hashtag LOT on Twitter or tweet at me personally at Sunanda_J. You can even call us on that number you see on your screen, or leave us your thoughts on our Facebook page, Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. That wraps up this episode then. Thanks so much for watching.